Should have got that on there.
Yeah,
thought we were
we
getting
did. We
pulled
got
over.
security. We got security.
I thought we got pulled over for doing an interview on the road with auto drive on.
Welcome to the Basketball Diary. I'm Wu. I'm with Team Rio's, one of the co-founders, right?
Sure.
Brian Klatsky. We're coming from Jersey City, headed down to the Jersey Shore, and just catching up with him, having a little talk about everything about the program and everything. How are you?
I'm doing good. I appreciate the interview.
Yeah, this is once in a lifetime to be in a car and we're shooting. Just no script, nothing. A little bit of rain, but we're good. Beautiful weather today. Hey, so how did Team Rio start?
Well, Rio started really as the Central Jersey Hawks back in second grade.
Yeah.
We started with a local group down in Monmouth County.
Mm-hmm.
The organization was started by my uncle Fred, and back probably 20 years ago, we had taken a nice group of kids down to Orlando for third grade nationals, and they sort of shocked the AAU world, and that little group of kids got down to the Elite Eight at nationals, and and that sort of got us all pretty excited about the journey ahead, and we didn't want to, let third grade be the peak for these kids. We wanted to keep growing as an organization, and it evolved from there. So as we head into middle school years, I built a lot of relationships with other programs. I became very good friends with A.D. Gaffney, who at the time was with New Jersey ABC, and then with Sports U Izod.
Mm-hmm.
Sixth grade rolled around, and at that point, our kids were doing a lot of training with Mcalister and Impossible Training. At that particular time, Micah was doing a lot of work with Mario Chalmers, and basically we sat down and myself, A.D. Gaffney, Micah, and Mario, and said, wouldn't it be great if we took this same kind of NBA training that Mike is doing with Mario, apply it to, some really gifted young kids, and see where it takes them on their journey. And at that point, AD and I, created Team Rio. Rio stands for that's Mario Chalmers' nickname, and that was really so from. Our I guess the founding fathers are a combination of Micah Lancaster, myself, A.D. Gaffney, and Mario Chalmers, and that's sort of how we all came together in the middle of sixth grade, and then we launched the full Team Rio national program in seventh grade with that class of 2019.
Wow. Is Mario still recently involved?
Both Mario and his father Ronnie are involved. They check in. They came out and saw us play in the UAA finals this year.
Yeah.
We've seen Mario at the Garden a few times. The kids interact with Mario through social media, and he encourages them. And for them at that age, meeting Mario before they even got to high school, it was inspirational for him.
Yeah.
He gave them a bunch of advice, and we stay in touch quite a bit.
Now you got a bunch of kids who are all this great character, all getting recruited. Who are some of the guys that are on the team? Just off the top of your head.
We have, for our class, our 2019 class, we're mostly New Jersey-based kids. We have a couple from Delaware and Pennsylvania. To name a few real quick. We have Scotty Lewis, and Brian Antoine, Alex Klatsky, Amadou Sarnour. They all live in and Chris Autina. They all live within 5-10 minutes of Rowney School down in Monmouth County. Jalen Gaffney lives out in Columbus, New Jersey. He'll be at Lawrenceville this year. Jordan McCoy, he's up in North Jersey at Dwight Englewood. Down in Delaware is Tariq Ingraham. He's at Sally's down there.
Yeah.
A couple other players, that we've had play with us over the last couple of years. Cole Anthony in New York.
Yeah.
Mikhail Jones down in Philadelphia. We also have Joe Jones out of Buffalo, New York, at Park High School out there. So we haven't had a lot of moving parts around this group. It's been a pretty good core that's been together for the last few years. We had a really nice player join us this year from Rumson, Mcalister, who unfortunately tore his ACL mid-season. So he's recovering from that. He's also a high-level football player. So when he comes back from his ACL tear, it'll be interesting to see if he picks up basketball again or if he's going to go 100% into football, because he's gifted in both sports, and he'll have to make a choice there. So we've had a really good group of kids over the years play with us,
and they're all getting recruited.
Yeah, we have these guys. For one of the things we did this year was we had a 15U group, and we played on the 16U shoe circuit at Under Armour. The association was great. The kids had an unbelievable year. We made it to the finals, playing up a year, which was remarkable. Going into this, we didn't know where we'd be at the end of the season. We just wanted to go compete and get the kids better. And playing up that year, they proved themselves on the floor and got a tremendous amount of exposure playing 16U as 15-year-olds this year.
If after now your Team Rio, that's part of it, but you're also kind of involved with Rainey High School as well.
Well, Rainey High School just happens to be 2 miles from my house.
Yeah.
So as I was looking for high school for my son Alex, I had to take a look just because it was there, and we were just really impressed in that process to see that they were really excited about building their sports programs. It's been a tremendous academic institution. I didn't know a lot about it till I walked in, and I just happened to walk in because it was in our neighborhood. And I was really blown away by all the academic and athletic resources they have there. And obviously, Alex and Scotty both enrolled in middle school, and everyone's like, well, if these guys are going there, there must be something interesting. So it brought a lot of attention, and Chris Autino, Amadou Sarnour, and Brian Antoine all have enrolled at Ranny since from the Rio squad, and it's been. We're fortunate to have such a great school nearby.
Where's your son getting looked at? I mean, he's young too.
He's young. No, he had a really good year. He came off that ACL tear last year, so he basically walked through his freshman year at Ranny the first half and really picked it up down the stretch. Mm-hmm. So to have he had a great career. They started 4 freshmen at Ranny this year, and for him to be able to start varsity as a freshman on the torn ACL was tremendous. He finally got rid of the brace towards the middle of July and played through Vegas without the brace. So knock on wood, hopefully when the season rolls around as a sophomore this year, he shouldn't have any ill effects from the tear, and he should be stronger than he ever was before. So it was a good year. From a recruiting standpoint, he's had a lot of looks, from high academic schools, as well as some mid and high major looks. He's shown the ability to do a lot of different things at a young age. So he has a few offers now, and he's going to just stay focused on making himself stronger and working on his game.
Can I ask what he has?
Yeah, right now he's got an offer from Niagara, and he's got a lot of interest throughout the Ivies and Patriot.
Very nice.
And then some of the schools recruiting Scotty and Brian have also expressed interest as well. So it's a long journey. We're 3 years away, so it's I got to make sure that not just him but all these kids stay focused on their sophomore year first before they start thinking about where they're going to be 3-4 years from now.
Looking too far ahead instead of looking at the present. What's your goal for Ranny School? I would say Rainey.
Well, I think ultimately,
and Team Rio.
I think what we all talk about and what we all want is to make sure that these guys stay focused. They don't let the rankings, they don't let the recruiting, take them off course.
Yeah.
I think making sure that for our guys, we haven't taken SAT prep now. We want them to have SAT scores under their belt before the high school season starts sophomore year, and then we'll continue to build on that. So, what we want is to provide these kids an environment to do something special. It would be really rewarding for me to see these guys all score high on the SAT, GPAs all over 3.0, where they can really pick and choose whatever school they want and not let any kind of academic situation hold them or prevent them from realizing their dreams. So, I think that, what we do is we look at the program 365 days a year. So whether it's the shoe circuit time of the year or if it's the off season, we're focused on the academic piece and also the skill development and the athletic performance side as well. So, for me to see these guys all, right now on this year's roster, we had 9 players in the class 2019, and all of them have been offered D1 scholarships coming out of their freshman year. So to me, that's really rewarding to see that their hard work and, being able to play a basketball style with Mike Rice at a high level and playing up has been a good formula for them.
What's the most interesting thing you've learned so far since you've been involved in basketball?
I think the biggest thing I've learned is how overwhelmed parents get in the middle school years, and they think every game, every exposure event, every ranking is so important. And I think so many people lose sight that once you start high school, that all gets erased and you start over. And you need to focus on, on being successful at that next level in high school. And I think parents lose they lose the value of that experience and that journey with their children because they get too caught up in all the wrong things. And instead of working on the development side, they're more worried about exposure that really doesn't translate into anything later on. Because if they don't have that foundation to be successful at the next level, it doesn't matter what someone wrote about you on the internet in 6th grade. That's not going to, get you a college scholarship or going to get you on the floor.
Right.
As a high school player. So I think that was the biggest thing that I take away is that trying to keep parents focused on what's important now and not get distracted by a lot of the noise that's out there.
And the next one I want to ask you, while we slipped.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. What drives you towards your goal? Like, I know you have a goal here. Like, what motivates you?
Well, I played Division III college basketball.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy my journey as much as I should have. Mm-hmm. And not because it was Division III, it was just because I was caught up in all the wrong things. And I didn't, and I wish, I look at, the kids that I'm around now, and I want to make sure they enjoy the essence of the basketball part and not be, distracted and aggravated and focused on things that take away from the experience. Yeah. So to me, it's really rewarding to see kids enjoy that team environment, seeing each other succeed, being challenged, playing up all the time. One of the things that I think stood out this year that I think we're all pretty proud of is, you had 4 freshmen starting at Ranney.
Yeah.
They only lost to 2 teams all year. They lost to Mater Dei a few times, and they lost to Roselle Catholic.
Right.
They ended up winning 23 games. And what made that experience so unique was they didn't have a upperclassman that they leaned on. They weren't the 6th or 7th man coming off the bench that if they made shots or didn't make shots or defended, it was going to change. It wasn't going to have that much change on the game.
Yep. They
had to carry a team on their backs as freshmen, learn what it meant to be accountable for every possession in order to be successful. And throwing them into the fire like that is what I really think gave them, that ability to really escalate themselves in on the circuit this summer. And a lot of people say, well, if they were at this school, that school, they would have been older kids that they could have come off the bench and they could have been contributors. I'm like, that's great, but at their talent level, having them try and figure it out themselves and do that as freshmen, when they come back as sophomores, they'll be really, really, really prepared to compete with anybody.
Do you get a lot of calls now from parents? Hey, can my son come onto the team? I think it would be great to have him on this program, or etc.
Absolutely. I mean, we wish we could do 30 teams with Rio. I mean, obviously there's, we try to do a lot of things with each age group, so there's really, we don't want to get too diluted. This year, in the past we've had the two age groups. We have a 2022 group and a 2019. This year we're going to have tryouts in September for all age groups from 3rd grade up, and we're going to
When is in September?
September 18th, that weekend.
18th.
Yeah.
Where at?
That'll be down at Ranny School.
Ranny School. Okay.
We're gonna have that.
Let them know.
And
Let
what
them know.
what we plan on doing is not a traditional type tryout, more of an evaluation and skill development session. So what we want to do is sort of expose everybody to our type of training. Have Coach Rice run them through a typical Team Rio kind of practice. Have them train with Bryce Stanhope if possible. See how we do our skill development, and then include some 5-on-5. We want to build relationships with kids and families, and I think that if we find the right group of kids in those age groups, we will add those teams. I know Under Armour is very supportive in helping us grow, and I think for us, we'd love to build a pipeline of more kids that are committed to. When we talk about commitment, it's not about the commitment to travel and go to games. To us, that's the least of it. The commitment is, do I want to be in the gym 4 or 5 days a week working on skills, or do we probably play less pickup and less 5-on-5 in practice than anybody else. It's about teaching, and to have coaches like Mike Rice with these kids is really unbelievable. To have a former Big East Division I coach working with this age kid is just something that is a tremendous advantage for us, and the kids have taken a lot away from it. So, with Coach Taj Holden at Ranny, and his experience playing on winning a national championship in Maryland, playing for Gary Williams, and then being a college assistant at Monmouth University. I mean, he brings a wealth of experience and knowledge to these kids as well, and he has very different kind of personality than Coach Rice. So having all these kinds of of mentors and coaches around these kids has been able to really show them the right way to do things.
Wow. So September 18th.
Yep.
Tryouts. Where can parents reach you?
We pretty much have everything on our website at teamrionational.com. Same on our Instagram page,
Twitter as well.
Yeah. So if you would actually just Google search Team Rio National, it should pop up pretty quickly there.
All right. We are out.